everyone, it's Lauren. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about time management. I'm not necessarily sure what I'm going to title this video yet, but the gist of this is going to be how to be a master at time management. And to give a little background on myself and why I'm giving this advice, I was an RA for 2.5 years, and I was in the same dorm with the same group of people who were freshmen primarily and sophomores. In this demographic of college students, we see a big transitional period. We see coming from high school, where you kind of can just get by, to college, where it is extremely intense, very fast paced, and it's very time demanding, which requires you to manage your time better. But at the same time, there's a lot of social activities going on, a lot of clubs, activities. So the biggest thing that people would come to me usually around the 3rd week or the 4th week when real was about how to manage time, and these are the tips that I implemented in my own life and as well as shared with them and helped a lot of students in managing their time. So if you're interested and that sounds right for you, then let's hop right into this video on how to properly manage your time in college or just in life in general. First tip is to use the 168-hour week principle. So what that is, if you haven't heard of it before, is that there are 168 hours in a week. That's 7 times 24. What you do is, the first step is, first you need a piece of paper. You're going to take 160, write it at the top, and you're going to subtract every single essential item first. And what I mean by essential is sleeping, eating, commute, work, or class time, go grocery shopping, cleaning. Things that are essential for you that you need to do on a weekly basis or even a daily basis. What you're gonna do, for example, sleeping. You really should be aiming for 8 hours of sleep, so I'm just gonna take that as an example. 8 times 7, and that's gonna be 56. And so you take 168 at the top and you minus 56 and you write sleeping. And then the next thing, let's say it takes you an hour every day to get ready. So you're going to make 1 times 7, that's 7 hours, so that's gonna be minus 7, getting ready, and you're just going to keep going with that. So once you have all the essentials, you're going to total that the difference up, and you're going to get a number. And so after that number, you are going to take your second most important priorities, which include studying, your hobbies or your interests, your side hustles, and you're going to find the difference between those. So what I would say, particularly for when you're trying to figure out study time, the rule of thumb, or the best rule of thumb, is taking, for every 1 credit you take, you're going to have 2 to 3 hours outside of class. So let's say you take a 3-credit course, you're going to approximately have 6 to 9 hours outside of class to study. So this could always vary, but I recommend you use this as a set point. Always try to do maybe a little bit more. I always lean on the edge of taking more time. Then you can always say, oh, I scheduled 3 hours for studying, but I only needed 2. But always err on the side of needing more time, because we often underestimate. It's just part of our human nature. We always underestimate how much time things are going to take. So once you total all those things up, you put this many hours for studying, this many hours for my yoga class, this many hours for this many hours for that, then you're going to get a number, and hopefully that number is 0 or greater and not in the negatives, because then that leads us into step number 2, which is figuring out where you are putting your time the most. This is going to be a very frustrating and eye-opening experience, because if you're watching this video, you've often felt a lot of times, where is all my time going? I feel like the day just flies by, weeks fly by, days fly by, and I just don't know where all my time is going. This really puts your priorities down right in front of you on a page, and you say, okay, this is how much time I need to take for all the essentials and my priorities, and then this is how much time I have left for free time. And what I would say is, I always err on the side of trying to have around 15 to 20 hours to yourself, because sometimes this is a really great exercise to realize that you are spreading yourself way too thin. So you may need to step down from a position such as an executive board position and just become a member of a club. The step number 2 is really being open to reassessing your priorities, your commitments, and how you spend your time. Number 3, once this is all done, once you have determined how much time you take for everything, and then you've also reassessed your priorities to leave yourself with some time. You want to socialize, you want to spend time with your family, your friends, your partner, etc. then you're going to want to do what I call block scheduling. So you can either do this in a good old notebook. I've done it in a notebook, but right now I prefer on Google Calendar or whatever online calendar you prefer. So whatever medium you decide to use for your calendar, it's all the same. Essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to figure out a schedule that's right for you. And I'm going to have probably like a little sample or do like a screen recording or something like that where I will show you what block schedule could look like. But essentially what you're going to do is you want to set what your perfect day would look like. And of course, you always want to leave room for flexibility. I always say when you're estimating how long things are taking, like appointments or the commute to somewhere, I always try to like multiply it by like 1.5 to 2 times because again, human error. So what I want you to do is to put the essentials in your blocking first. You're waking up, you're getting ready, your meals, your work, your dinner. So basically just meals, work, and maybe that's pretty much it. Commute time. But after that, you're going to see a lot of spaces in your schedule. You're going to see a lot of blocks that are empty. And so what you want to do is you want to fill those in with your secondary priorities, such as exercising could be like a real priority or secondary priority depending on you, but you can find a time to put your exercise. So let's say you see a really good time slot between the time you leave work and you usually have dinner, that will be a great time to exercise or whatever works for you. Then for studying, seeing what times in the day you can study. If you have blocks between your 2 classes, you can always schedule lunch, but really try saying, hey, what can I do with this free time? I can probably get 20 pages of reading done. I can work on an outline, or I can work on this, lab quiz assignment. Trying to use the most out of your time, especially in the middle of the day, so when you're home, that time is for you. Those are some great things that I used when I was in college and I recommended to a lot of people. It is a great way to kind of be accountable of what you're doing and keeping notifications as well for the calendar to kind of keep you on track when you're on your computer or on your phone. So it's a reminder of, instead of scrolling on Instagram right now, I could spend the next 30 minutes, reading the chapter that I have to read eventually. I might as well do that now. So that is essentially what block scheduling is. And I can do a more in-depth video if you guys would like. Quick little interruption, but if this video is helping you, please, I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a like, shared it with your friends, and also subscribed and hit that bell notification so you know when I get new videos. I am really trying to get this content out there to help fellow college students as well as grad school students and the like, and just people who are really looking to better organize themselves, increase productivity. And I hope that I can get that content out there, so just please, if you can, give this video a like. I really appreciate it. Number 4 is to do this at the beginning of your academic year or a semester, whatever it is for you, because this is a great way to set your intention, get off on the right foot. Semesters are super fast paced. You only have 15 or so weeks, and you're learning a lot of different information from a lot of different classes, and you really don't have room to make mistakes. It's kind of, if you want to be the most successful student you can be, you want to use your time effectively. And of course, if you realize, whoa, this one class that was like 3 credits is way easier than I thought it would, I only need like 2 hours a week to study, or you realize your one credit class is a lot of time, you might want to reassess that class. If it's 1 credit, it's a lot of work. But some classes might take more time, some may take less time, but to have an estimate that kind of sweet spot is 1 credit equals 2 to 3 hours of outside studying. And of course, number 5 is kind of to just reassure you guys, but the longer you do this, the better you get. I know that at first it might be frustrating to see how long you might take for certain things, such as getting ready, or how long a certain assignment might take for you, or how long a certain amount of reading might take. But as you do this, you will become more cognizant of how you spend your time. You're going to be able to focus in on your work more instead of getting distracted constantly by your phone or other outside distractions, and you're going to see how long things really take you, and you're going to be even better at estimating time. So always be open to readjusting how long things take for you and readjusting the schedules, but these are just some tips on how to get started on time management and block scheduling. I really hope this all helped you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, as well as any other videos, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye!